Is it possible that we've been tricked, we've been backstabbed, quite possibly bamboozled by the seller? Good afternoon, guys, and this is Tech. And today in the episode, I like to call it What's in the Box. We have the P36 gaming true wireless earbuds. This is a generic earpiece from China. I found it in Lazada for about 18 bucks, and it's going to be quite interesting what this thing can offer. And if you want to know what are the specs are over there. Alright, so without further ado, let's see this baby out. Alright, so before we move on, I need to say that the specs that I stated may or may not be correct, because at the back here it says completely different compared to the seller stated in the website. So it may be 5.2 or 5.1. So that's all I need to say, and let's move on. The product is fairly cheap, that it doesn't even have a plastic cover to wrap this, man. It's very simple to open. You can see it's made of pure plastic, and the two earbuds. It looks pretty generic, so I just put in the case first. Oh, look at that, blue with the glowing of red. Alright, so in here is the standard small earbuds and the large earbuds for a spare, and Type-C cable with the instruction manual, which is in Mandarin, and there's English as well. So I will take a look this later, but for now there is nothing else to see. So that's all. There's nothing else to see. Alright, as you can see, this design, if you don't notice, it is almost the same as the ZNT Gamepods. It has almost the same diameter, the same height, and also the similar shape right there. Even the lighting is about the same, if you can see. Yeah, as you can see, the lighting is almost the same. So that's one thing to take note. But the blue LED here is way brighter than the ZNT Gamepods. And for the hinge mechanism, when it shuts, it is very solid, but it is a bit difficult to flip open compared to the Game Buds, where I can just easily open, while this is a very thin part to open, so you need to use your fingernails a bit, or just apply a bit more pressure to open. So other than that, top here it has like supposed to be some brand or whatever, and it's glossy, and it has the sound of, yeah, so there's some texture on top of this, while over the rest there's no texture, nothing to indicate how many battery inside. Over the inside here doesn't say anything other than left and right, and the light indicator here, and Type-C charging port. So that's all for the casing. So for this pricing, you can almost get the same as the ZNT Gamepods. So we are going to closely compare with these three. Alright, so next, open the earbuds. So as you can see, it will turn blue and red to pair up, and when it's charging, it will be in red, as you can see here. And the design wise is very similar. very similar to the Gamepods. You can see here, it is almost the same length, the same diameter for each. Even the curved part here is all about the same. The pogo pin as well is very similar. Just the earbud is more concentrated in the center, while this is more generic, or because it has a big 13 mm diameter. So next, you want to compare with the Gamepods, and it's slightly smaller for the Gamepods, but the earbuds here is about the same. So that's all for the comparison. So the plastic build wise, it feels is all very close to the ZNT Gamepods. It is not as the cheap material felt like the Lenovo LP6 right here. So that's one thing to take note. So for 18 bucks, it's actually quite nice to feel. And let's check the weight of the earbud. Alright, so total with the casing is about 54.2 grams, and individually is about 4.6 grams. So in a comparison with the ZNT Gamepods, it's about 54.4, and also the earbud will be about 4.7 to 4.8. So it's almost identical in terms of weight. So this is the ZNT Gamepods. It's about 43, which is lighter, and even the earbuds as well is about 4. Next, we're going to compare with the LP6. It's about 53, and the earbud is about 3.9. So that is how light the material is. Alright, so that's all for the comparison for now. I will catch you all later for the pairing phase.
Alrighty, so now we are using the mic from the P36 earbuds, and tell me, what do you think about the sound quality? Is it good? Is it worth the 18 bucks, so $18 so far? And now I'm going to stand in front of the fan, and directly in front of it. Okay, is it picking up the wind sound, or you can hear my voice clearly? Yeah, so now we move on to the crowd sound playing on my TV at playing on the TV at medium volume. So now there's a crowd sound. Is it still clear on my voice, or is the background sound a little too loud? So there is just a short mic test. So tell me, what do you think in the comment down below?
Alright, so welcome back to the pairing phase. So I have been using this earbud for about almost a day or so, and is it possible that we've been tricked, we've been backstabbed, quite possibly bamboozled by the seller? I think so, because when I really look at the box right here, not a single speck of word stated about gaming, and even the controls does not even have the game mode enable controls. So if you want to know what are the controls, it's right there. As you can see, it is just play, volume, and AI assistant. There's no word of gaming. Even here, it doesn't even say anything. If you see the screenshot right here, it did say it is for gaming, TWS, but it is actually just a generic earpiece that looks like a game bud, which is like the game pods, but it doesn't really function like a game. However, during my testing, I'm actually pleasantly surprised on how good the sound quality is. And it may not be for a gaming mode, as you can see in the game test, where I just use the M24 and just shoot some targets to see how the latency like is about roughly about 529 milliseconds. It's not too bad. I mean, in terms of for gaming, it's actually quite bad, but it's quite decent, as I can even play some games. As you can see right now, I was able to play some game like D4DJ with not much an issue, and also I played a game with Call of Duty Mobile, but I realize when every time I shoot there's a slight delay, but still doable, still playable. But it's clearly not catered for games, but it's good for listening to music. And the mic as well is actually relatively clear, which I'm also surprised, but it's unfortunate also that it unable to suppress the wind sound, but it's okay. But other than that, I use this to try how is it on the bed, and as usual it is because of the small hinge, because of the small flip right here, is a little bit difficult to open, but after using this for a few hours, actually I can open it no problem. And toss and turn is not my issue, because the earbud is relatively flush to your ear, so I can really go vertically face on my pillow without much of a discomfort. And you can see and you can see that part where I pause, and that's the angle. That is how much angle you can actually face without feeling too uncomfortable. And in terms of music, I must say it is pretty bassy. I must say it is a bit more bassier than expected. So in terms of the range of earbuds that I have always been putting from vocals only to bass only, the range it is from the sound pitch True Air 2 to the KZ SKS to the middle ground of the sound pitch True Gen 3 SE to the Aoki E25, which I don't have currently with me, and also lastly the vocal only, the Asus O4 Pro. And the thing that I would place in as a placeholder to the E25, it will be the ZNT Gamepods. It has slightly weaker bass compared to the True Gen 3 SE, but this earbud it has slightly more bassy. It is almost towards the SKS, the KZ SKS. So the earbuds is more bassier but not too bassy, but it's actually quite nice to listen to. So I'm a bit disappointed that I might be tricked by the seller, but for 18 bucks I can't really complain. And for it feels quite comfortable on the hand and in the pocket, which is quite not too bad lah, I must say. So overall, for $18, if you intend for playing games, a little hard to accept this. But if you really want to play game which has a similar design to this, you can always go for the ZNT Gamepods. But if you are intending for just purely for music and possibly just going to listen it while on your bed, yeah, this is actually quite good. But if still you want to look something more bassier and something around this price range, you can always consider the ZNT Gamepods, because this is very big. It's more bass heavy, which is about towards the True Gen 3, which is almost towards the sound pitch through air 2. So yeah, that's all for it. So I don't need to do any latency test for this because it's not meant for gaming. So there's that. And oh, and also, one last thing before we end this video, I would want to recommend a song because that is what I do for all of my videos. And for this, the song that I like to listen to using this earbud is called 99 by ReoNa. So if you want to know the song, you want to listen to it yourself, there is a link right down below. And also I will try to find the links to buy this earpiece if you so interested. But other than that, thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button. And if you want more of this kind of content and find out more random earbuds that I find in Lazada, subscribe to me and I catch you all next time. See ya!